Hello, good afternoon, Testvares, men and women. Nice to see you, but maybe I'm not seeing you very clearly, but it's nice to see your shades. That it's a lot of people here. Okay, there was a fantastic panel discussion with Paweł Jacek Cieśla. It's the perfect introduction to my topic. We were just heard some valuable expert perspective from a focus group of panelists. And now I would like to smoothly transition from the expert discussion to the biggest picture. My name is Stefania Winkel, and today I would like to talk about the human back, the one we have stopped seeing. I want to share a perspective based on not a panel, but in the voice of 170 IT specialists from all around Poland and what they have to say about 5 years post-pandemic that change our brains, careers, and collaboration. So just to know why I conduct this research, professionally, I'm a line manager responsible for tester in Wrocław in Spirosoft SA, and as Claudia said, a huge advocate for software quality. But outside of my 9 to 5, I also run an Instagram profile about life in IT, especially software testing in IT, and just wanted to present you the issue about. I want to quantify those feeling about our remote work and also the work in the office. But let's be honest, it's not a presentation back to office. It's not this kind of talk. I'm not here to criticize remote work, and it's not a management agenda. It's a talk about the invisible price that we pay for flexibility. So here is our plan. It's simple, I think. We will start by diving straight into the survey data. This is the heart of the talk, and it perfectly follows the panel we just heard, Jacek panel. Then we'll analyze the data through three critical lines: the impact of our brain, our career, and our collaboration. So our mental health, our growth, and also our teams. I think that we will finish with a clear summary, and then most importantly, I want to leave at least 10 minutes to have time to answer your questions about remote work, about working in the office, relating to our condition, our health. Okay. So the panel, I will talk about this panel because I was there a few minutes ago. The panel just discussed the feeling of being remote. So now I want to ask you about this feeling. This slide asks who am I, but in a team. So before we look at any data, I would like to ask you a question, and please be brave for a moment and by showing of hand, how many of you have ever felt lonely with working remote? Okay, thank you. Them up for a minute. And now, how many of you have ever felt disconnecting, rejecting, or maybe just unseen, uncared for, unsupported? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for this this situation that you show your feelings to your colleagues and maybe also colleagues from your work. For those of you who raise your hand, I want to know this presentation is for you. You are not alone. Your feelings are also recognized by your colleagues. And for those of you who kept your hands down, you are also doing great job in remote work, and this is fantastic. Truly, this presentation is also for you because the people you just saw with their hands up, they are in your team, they are in your company. Maybe not the same, but I would like to show you that also in your company could be people with these feelings. Okay, as I mentioned, over 170 people from the Polish IT community responded on my survey, and you can see that maybe not now, but you will see that there was a lot of specialists like testers, developers, analysts around Poland. I put this the survey on Facebook group, but also on Instagram and also on my LinkedIn profile. And what was difficult for me also to read the comments, because there was some question that you need to put 1 to 5, yeah, and I will present it to you. But after that, I put the open question, and a lot of people put the whole history of their working remote, about the situation in their company, the houses, also the home atmosphere. It was difficult for me to read it. However, I think that it's also important to say about this to all around the IT companies. So let's look at the data. This is the most important moment in the entire presentation. A moment ago, I asked you to raise your hand. Now, let's see what the data say. I asked the same question to the group, and it's obvious. 60% of respondents said that they not feel lonely, that on the question, do you feel that remote work has negatively impacted your mental health? 60% said that probably not. And it's amazing. It's fantastic. Yeah, we love working at home. We love working remotely. However, I think that we're not talking about this 9.14% of people who said that they feel they feel lonely. They have some problems with working remote. And what is important in our life? In life, we haven't got something like bad, good, white, and black. Each situation is different. So we can say that in office is bad and at home is better, and everyone needs to work like that. I heard on the panel that some companies said you need to go back to the office, And for the question why, because I said so. Okay. I don't understand this because in my company I haven't got something like that. We talk. Yeah, it's very important to talk with testers, with developers, and find the solution for the whole project, not only for one person. And what is important here, I would like to say that for 90% of the respondents, the remote work is a success. It is probably many of you here who keep the hands down. But look at this, almost 9% say that probably yes, and 1.1 said definitely yes. It's 1 in every 10 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and every 10 people here also say that it isn't good for him to work remotely. Maybe they don't shout it, say it loud, and we don't see it. I can say that in my perspective, I see all the time people who said remote work is the best, and shut up. And don't say anything about working in the office because it's bad, and that's it. But maybe there there is a group of people who said that working remotely, maybe not at home, but remotely, is sometimes a problem for them. And this is just a statistic on a slide. There are the hands that you saw raising in the room a minute ago. This is a real significant group of your colleagues whose experience is different. And what is important, to talk with them, to ask them if for them it's good that you will not come to the office for some meeting because, yeah, and here it's good to put the reason. I sometimes have a conversation with my testers and they said, I will work from home. And I said, okay, but in this week we have client visit and it will be good to know each other, ask about the project face to face. And some of them said, no, because I work in 100 remote. And I asked, okay, there is some reason that you can come in Monday or Tuesday or any other day? I can, but it's the rule. Yeah, the rule said that I'm working remote, and that's it. And it is the same like we want people to work remotely. When the pandemic started, we said the same. We said you need to stay home because of COVID. And a lot of testers ask me, okay, but I haven't got desk. I haven't prepared for it. And after in this period, I said, yeah, I know it, but you need to stay at home. And now the situation is different. And each time we're thinking only about this, what we are seeing, not what we are feeling, and where is the reason why we think like that. So today I think that the presentation is for that 10%, I think, to show them they are not alone. And also for that 90%, because in 1 in 10, they are on your team. My goal today is to help us build, and it's the word that I create, human observability. So the ability to observe our team. Something new for me, the creative of new words, but I think that's something that we don't use. We ask, how do you do? And go to the topic, yeah, and ask about um, technical problems, issues, and stuff. But if we said, okay, you look tired today, do you have some problems? Do you want to talk about this? Do you ask something like that during the stand-up to your colleagues? You can raise your hand. Okay, not too much. So sometimes the reason is, and also the answer in the survey was, it isn't my family. I will not ask about their private life. It isn't my business to ask about this. It's a work, not my family, not home. And it was also something strange for me because we spent 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours at work, remote office. It doesn't matter. We spend this time with these people and we don't know anything about them. When we are in the office, we go in the kitchen, stay, grab a coffee, and talking about weekend. But during the online session, it's difficult to ask some some details, like you see tired, yeah. Sometimes we said, oh, you say you looks beautiful, yeah, or something, you cut your hair, or something like that. But the question for the mental health, and that I see that you have some problem, oh, it isn't popular, yeah. It isn't popular to ask different question and difficult question. Okay. So it was also my perspective. Now I would like to read some comments for you. I translated from Polish, however, the meaning is the same. One people wrote that there are moments when I'm not writing to anyone, I have no meetings, and I have no task to undertake. Such situations are rare, but but then I feel isolated. So it isn't day by day. It isn't that this feeling isn't popular and isn't normal for us, but sometimes we have the situation like that when we was or when we are in the office and we see our colleagues, the feeling isn't the same. I have more comments. One person wrote, I feel that the lines between work and home have blurred, which leads to exhaustion. Oh my God. Another said, a lack of daily interaction with people, the gossip in the kitchen, the feeling of being part of the team. It's a problem. And this one, more pressure to be online all the time. I feel of isolation. This isn't a technical problems. I don't suggest to put a comment only about mental health. I ask about working remotely and your experience. And people wrote about their feelings, their mental health, not about I not understand JavaScript or I have problem with this framework and only in Office I could solve the problem. No one put the comment relating to technical issue. All the comments was about mental. So I put them to three categories. Started with the brain. When we lose the natural physical separation of being to the office, we struggle. And the survey responses point to these themes. So first is stress, the stress of always all culture. So you need to be always online. One one woman said that put the comment that when she is in the office after the stand up, they go for a coffee and gossip. And when she was at home and after the stand up, she was go to put the clothes to washing machine. She was stressed because she was not online, because she was go from the desk. And what's the difference? You don't need to be all the time online when you working remote. And no one said it to us, yeah? When you go to the toilet, your manager can call you and you don't answer. Yeah, I think that you don't put the phone, yeah, I'm in toilet and then start talking. Oh, it's difficult. Next one is creativity. So how many of you solve your hardest problems on your desk? So you spend an hour to solve some problem, find some solution, and what you are doing? Most of us stand up, go for a coffee, or you need to change a topic, you need to rest, and then the solutions is come. And so it's also about this creativity. There was also one comment that the man said that after a 2 weeks of working remote, he realized that it will be good to go out from the flat. Really, I think that it could be a problem. Next one is burnout. So the result of blood line and constantly digital connection. It's also a problem. And this social isolation. This is the most obvious one. When we haven't got family, we live alone. We haven't got friends because we don't like sport. Yeah, there is a group of people who said that sport isn't good for them, and your family lives, I don't know, 100 kilometers from your home, and you see that it is a problem that you are isolated. You don't want to talk with people around you, and it's start also the problem in your project, talking with client for the question, okay, so maybe next presentation will be prepared by you. The answer is, why me? I'm a tester. I'm a good tester. Why I need to talk with people or present something? So it's also the signal that something is maybe not wrong, but it's good to check if everything is okay. Maybe like that. Another voice from the survey, it's harder to disconnect after work. My brain is constantly in the real mode. It's also difficult. I had same problem when I I start in pandemic work at 7 a.m. and sometimes my bosses, directors call me in 5 p.m. and they said, yeah, you're at home, so you are online, so you can talk about job. And it was day by day. And after that, I realized that, okay, I all the time be at work. I need to finish it. And what I did, I start say that I'm going out from the office. They call me and they said, "You're at work," and I said, "Yeah, but I'm in the corridor. I'm leaving the office right now, so can we talk tomorrow?" And they said, "Yeah, okay." So you're leaving work, yeah? But when I was at home and they asked me, "Yeah, but you're at home. You can open the laptop and 5 minutes for me, 5 minutes for another person, 5 minutes for another, and you spend whole day working." Okay, another, the voice from the survey are when asking who their mental health was impacted, people say a feeling of loneliness, less motivation for work, and depressive states. There was a lot of comments that people have problem with depression. It's something new for me that they put this information in the survey for person they don't know, and put this for this survey. And for me, the question is, do you see in your team people with some depression states, and they these people say it to you? If they said, yeah, I have some problems and I need some space, and sorry for uh, my my work, it will be problematic for 1-2 weeks. And I think that no one says something like that, and it could be also be a problem for us. And this one, which I think many of us can feel, the comment, a lack of flow with the team. Everything is transaction. Every meeting has an agenda. It's no room for just talking. How many of you have the meeting with the name coffee? Yeah, it's it's good to have something like that. When we work remotely, it's good to call and talk about nothing. Yeah, about cats, dogs, and so on. But still, not everyone have something like that. Next is impact on our career. The question was, do you feel remote work has negatively impact your career? And 72% say no. No impact, everything is okay. But 28 say yes, or it's hard to say. 28%. It's a lot of people. When we will see the group of people in each team, people have problem with their career. I'm a line manager, and tester come to me and say, okay, I would like to change my work. I would like to promote. Could you prepare something for me? What I can do? And I said, okay, what's your proposition? I don't know. And a lot of people say, I don't know. Not because they are lazy and they said, okay, she will prepare everything for me, but because they haven't got perspective. Here in Tesvares, you are on the conference, you talk with the people, you have presentation, panels, and everything is is available for you. But your colleagues in your company, maybe not in your team, but in your company, have problem with that. They don't gossip in the kitchen. They don't ask you where you spent last 2 days. They don't ask you, you wasn't Tesvares? And you said, okay, I will not say something like that. It's stupid. Yeah, I heard something like that. I was on the conference. Why you don't say it? Oh, it was stupid to say something like that. Why it is stupid? Because you want to grow, you want to change something, learn something. Okay, and here was 3 category for this also impact on our career. The training, it's hard to learn passively. It's also connecting with onboarding. This was a huge one. Um, how do you learn the unwritten rules? When you have the onboarding online, you have some documents, some presentation, and that's all. Yeah, but sometimes it's good to know that this colleague have the knowledge about this, and you can ask this one, this person, and if you have everything remote, you haven't got chance to talk about this. And also networking, building a network outside your small team. It could be also problematic. My group of testers have 40 testers in the whole Wrocław team. We work mostly remote, and they ask me still after sometimes 5 years of work, could I send them the name of a person who have these skills because they have or she have a problem and would like to talk with someone about this. And I said, it's a colleague from your team. No way, it's in my team. Okay. So it's also problem with this networking. And in survey was some comments, fewer opportunities to learn from seniors just by shadowing them or listening to their conversation. What I have more comments. Onboarding was a nightmare. I got a laptop by courier, and that's it. Felt lost for 3 months. And this one summarized the core fear. It's harder to be noticed. It feels like my career has slowed down. The last one, impact on collaboration. Here the question was, did remote work negatively affect collaboration in your team? And still, 55% say no, but 45, so 50-50 say yes, or it's hard to say. So as tester, there is no lifeblood. We don't just find bugs, we communicate them. So when I ask this question, did remote work negatively affect collaboration in your team? The result was difficult for me to understand because each second person said that he have or she have a problem with it. And I put the comment in 3 groups. First was communication. It's problem. It's lower. It's asynchronous, which is nice word for waiting. The trust. It's hard to trust people you have never met. You haven't got the camera on. You don't know how this person looks like. And the feedback, giving critical feedback is hard. Giving it in text over Slack is brutal. And I read that a lot of people have feedback sending from the manager, said that your work is bad. And I will have time in next 2 weeks to talk with you. You can put the invitation to our calendars. And it was also in this comments that you are like a person in Excel. You feel like a person in Excel. So the relationship back, I said it's the group like that. It's strong empathy or artificial sorry, artificiality. So lack of belonging and connection. Test task-based relationship. So only when you work with some person, you have any relation with she or he. So what are the logs for our human back? So I think that the data is clear. For 90% of us, remote work is a wonderful success story. For flexibility, freedom, it's obvious. But for 10% of us, it is silent struggle with isolation, burn down, and stress. And for almost half of us, the main of our important job is collaboration. My request for you today is not to give up remote work. It is to start building this human observability into your team. So it's good to ask, how are you? Truly, how are you? It's good to have this meeting for grab a coffee. It's good to turn on the camera, not when your manager asks you, but turn it on. Sometimes I have the comment, yeah, but I'm ill. Okay, but we are remote. It isn't a problem for me that you are ill, but you are working, so it will be good to see each other. And this is for being proactive. Schedule small talk, ask for feedback actively. Ask your colleagues about feedback, not waiting for manager. Ask, what do you think about the stand-up? Do you think that we need to change something? It will be good to ask something like that. So if you are in that 10%, I hope this presentation shows you that you are not broken, you are not alone. Your feelings are valid, but please, you must send a signal. You must create a log entry and talk to your manager, your colleagues, your HR, and present that there is something that we need to debug as a company. Okay. So I think that the soft skills are not optional extracts. They are core to what we do. And for remote work, I think that we must working on our soft skills. Thank you very much for attention.
Okay, so now we have a Q&A session. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, what was for you the hardest personal struggle when working remotely? What would you answer those questions you have asked in the survey just below?
Okay, I didn't read it in the survey, but I have problem with my children that they don't know what is a meeting. They come to my office and ask about sandwich, if we have sandwich or something. And I, as a manager, sometimes have a meeting with directors, clients, and they don't laughing and say, okay, go and take this, prepare the sandwich for him. But they said, you're at work, so maybe you will find someone for your children. And it's a problem for me.
Fine. No, thank you for your presentation. Maybe when you ask me about your research, because it's just only 170 people around Poland, but how do you think it's enough for you? Or speech, something like that? You didn't present group of people in your research, maybe split based on age, sex, and the other position, because for me it's more important.
Okay. Okay, so I started with my testers in my team. I have 40 testers in one company, and I saw that they have, some of them have problem with mental health. They have some long holiday to rest, and some of them say that they need to rest, not change job, not change um, anything in the project, but they need to rest because of some mental health. And I said, okay, maybe it's only in my perspective. I would like to check outside of my team. So I prepared the survey. I'm not so popular in Poland and in around the IT world. That's why maybe only 170 person answered the survey. But the canal when I put the survey was around IT, and I asked about the position, and there was a lot of testers, and they need to put the position, wrote them, so not check from the list. And it was a lot of QA, but with a lot of names of QA. Maybe it isn't good enough, but I didn't find a survey answer for my question about the mental health in IT project. But I see it in my team, and it's, I think, the same. 1 in 10 person have some problem, some mental problem, soft skill problem. And now when we haven't got El Dorado, as we say in IT. So you can change your job like that, but you need to find the job and they can fire you. The people think that soft skills are not necessary. They don't need to communicate with anyone. And that's why I check it if it's only in my team, the problem. I think that it's a problem, or also in another group.
If I may, like I stole the mic. I'm sorry. So the question I wanted to ask, and I know there wasn't a question within your survey, but something that I noticed as a people manager, let's say for the years, and especially during the pandemic, that people are getting second jobs, or someone's third one, or they like invest a lot of their time when they're working from home in their hobbies, a lot more than working. So, like, did you have answers like that, or do you notice that as well, that when people work from home, they don't work as much as they would when they are sitting in the office?
Most of the answer was that remote work is good because they don't spend time on commute. They can go for squash in the same time. Okay. And I think that it isn't something bad. Yeah, it's okay. But most of this negative answer that they have some problems, they have problems because they haven't got any hobby, any friends, or not so many friends, and they don't see the problem. The problem showed them the company when they said, okay, we will fire you because your technical skills are okay, but communication, but soft skills, you don't want to come to the office because the client is, and you said that no, and without any reason. And they said, okay, only the therapists say that it's something that we need to work on it. So no one said it in the team, in the company. And I think that it's a problem also with us that we don't communicate something like that to our colleagues.
Okay, so thank you. You can ask Stefania on the party.
Yes,
Or on the
we can talk in the corridor, of course. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.